Like, it take a real motherfucker to get sober.
Entrepreneurship is a mindset. It's not necessarily what you do. Because I promise you, if you're doing it for the right reasons, you will be okay.
What do we know about trauma scientifically? It changes the chemistry in the brain.
We can relate to one another, you know. That's why this camaraderie is so awesome, because we just get it and we don't judge.
You can't fight new battles with old tactics. Your thoughts become your words become your actions become your character becomes your destiny.
What do you want to be remembered by when you're gone? What's Grounded, fam? It's your boy Johnny Gio. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Grounded Phoenix podcast. As always, the purpose of this channel is to express vulnerability and expand awareness to addiction, trauma, and mental health. I got my boy Chris Dickerson in the motherfucking building. What's Grounded, homie?
What it do? Glad to be here.
You know,
Yes,
homie,
sir.
keeping it cherry.
Yep, you know it.
Hey, did I say that correctly?
You said it absolutely correctly. You know.
Man, I'm trying to be hippity hop with you guys over there, man. Next time I
Yeah.
roll up over there too, I said hippity hop.
I ain't gonna. We gonna let that slide. Though. You can edit that out.
Nah, I ain't editing it out, bro.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
that shit's funny as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
But yo, man, I'm really excited, dude, to do this podcast with you. Check out the Beard Squad, though.
You
Check out the
feel
Beard
me?
Squad.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes,
yeah,
sir. Looking pretty
shit.
motherfucking fly.
Yeah.
But bro, now we're gonna get into some dope ass topics that I think will be very beneficial to the podcast. We're gonna get into the facade of social media. We're gonna dive deep into meditation. We're gonna talk about other forms of recovery. We're gonna talk about being abstinent from pornography. And then just to get on that note, bro, I did a video. I telling you right now, I did a video by myself that I recorded that talks about how to perform oral sex on a woman. Bro, look. The reason why I'm bringing this up right now is because, dog, look, there's people that need help out there, dog.
Yeah.
And I got this from a comment on the video that I did from a young lady.
Yeah.
I did a video about a year ago, dog, on premature ejaculation, dog. Your boy was a minute man over here. He was one pump chumping it.
Man.
And bro, I did that video because, I overcame that. I did some work on myself and I figured out, like, holy shit, I was beating my meat too often and I was fucking getting it off real quick. And one thing I say on that video is you gotta practice the way you want to perform. You can't just be getting it out the way and expecting you're gonna be fucking, like this crazy ass porn star.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can tell you this
when you're
straight
having
up.
sex.
I can tell you this straight up. That whole world is like WWE. It's all it's completely fake. And it does create a little idea of fantasy. You know what I mean? It brings excitement. And quick joy and endorphins popping. But in all actuality, that right there is a sanctuary, a woman's body, and knowing how to work it is something that you absolutely learn from a woman. So you listen, you feel, and they're completely different. They are a completely different breed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I had mentioned on the video that us as men, we like to go 0 to 100 real quick, but women are not built that way. We gotta ease up into it and then just let it progress. But they're not like that.
Hell no.
So we're gonna get into we're gonna get more into depth with that. But first, bro, I know you've struggled and you battled with addiction. Just give us a breakdown on what life used to be like in your active addiction. What was your drug of choice? What are some traumas that you had to overcome so that, the people could get to know you a little bit better and we can move forward and talk about these topics right here.
Yes, sir. Let's get it. Okay, so what's up, you guys? My name's Chris. Also a tag of Dick in the house. I am rolling up on 2 years of sobriety on the 29th. Or I don't know when this is going to show, but I'm rolling up on 2 years of sobriety. I'm very grateful for it. Before it was just kind of, just reckless activity, selfish, very into my ego and real selfish. You know, that's how I can say it. You know, I was kind of resentful too out of many things, which kind of drove me to be as aggressive and weird as I was. I'm the type of individual, I go 0 to 100 like real quick, like the lyrics. But you know, drug of choice was alcohol, weed, coke, crack, whatever you can find. You know, I didn't hit the H train. I didn't do meth or nothing. But at the end of the day, I still had issues. You know, I also low key narcissistic. I don't really like throwing a title around like that. But you know, I was an active addict that thought I was living a regular life. I always hear this term, a functioning alcoholic or a functioning addict, but my activity was not functioning at all. You know what I mean? So, you know, I was in a bad place for a couple years. You know, it all started out as fun and games, but it got to a darker place as I got older and shit progressed. I literally was slowly killing myself. It was like a place of, and you don't pay attention to it. You really don't pay attention to it. You honestly don't understand how progressive addiction is. And it slowly just started snowballing. And it's excuses, lies, all these things start building up, and you start creating these weird anxieties and weird situations in your head to where you feel, hey, I deserve, or I need to feel this way. And so I used to use drugs and alcohol as like a Band-Aid to hide emotions. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about this, but I kind of lived this idea like on social media. I showed my family, I showed my business, I showed my kids. You know, I started young. Me and my girl been together since high school. So I always tried to show the beautiful parts of it, show the beauty. And so what people didn't really know is behind closed doors, I was a fucking drunken monster sleeping on the couch, pissing in the fucking hallway and shit. You know what I mean? A father that wasn't really present. A brother that wasn't a brother, a husband that wasn't a husband, a man that wasn't there for his children. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't really there, but you know, when I was out there, it was pretty tough, and it took a lot for me to actually be willing to change. So, you know, I'm very grateful to be where I am today. It's awesome to get to share on platforms like this. I've met so many awesome people throughout this whole process, and what's really fucking cool is I'm actually living the life that I used to bullshit talk about. I used to talk about like, oh, I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that, you know, but I was just talk. Now I'm actually about action, and I'm actually doing it, you know, and straight up, you know, it's not like all pink clouds and happy, joyous, and free shit right now. One awesome thing is I'm getting to deal with life on life's terms. Something happens, you know, we had a death in the family. No matter what, I'm still sober. Work isn't going how I want it to go. No matter what, I'm still sober. Before, a petty argument can get me out running, you know what I mean? But now I have tools. Now I have a support group. Now I have an actual clear conscience to make better, rational decisions. So the journey is beautiful. And while I was out there, it was fucking dark. So I'm glad to be here. I feel like I am where I need to be. But yeah, that's
Hell
me.
yeah, man. Hey, bro, congratulations on almost 2 years coming up, my guy. Very well said, brother.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I want to talk about a little bit. How is it you transitioned, like, you know, the active addiction we talk about at one point, it was fun. And then 0 to 100 real quick, it got pretty dark, bro. Like, when did you notice the moment when shit fucking started going south?
To be honest with you, okay, so like you could, so for me, I've always knew I had an addictive personality, right? From when I was a kid, from eating too much fucking peppermints that my grandma was hiding, to me fucking taking all the marshmallows out of the Lucky Charm box. I always knew that I had some kind of addictive issue, but it slowly progressed. I say, you know, it was easy to be like, oh fuck, you know, I got a drug problem. That's easy to say, you know, and you keep that kind of hidden. But to claim myself as an alcoholic was the hard part, you know. it was so normal. You go to weddings, we drinking. You go to a birthday, we're drinking. You go to a big party function, we're drinking. You go to any celebration, TV commercials or NFL commercials are sponsored by beer and shit. You know what I mean? So in my mind, I didn't really think I had a drinking problem. I thought that shit was normal. But then, I noticed, hey, for me to get loaded, it takes me to get fucked up at first,
Yeah.
And I was the type of individual, dog, like, so before we go to work, I would go grab, they have the 3-pack of the tall boys with Budweiser. I'll grab that and some Fireball. That's the start of my morning. As the day progressed, boom, I'm grabbing a 12-pack, Budweiser. Kill that, me and the homie. And I kept people who had the same issues like me around, so I didn't feel judged, and I felt like I kept them at bay, like, oh, you can't say nothing to me, I'm providing what we're doing. So, I really, I knew I had a drug problem, but for alcoholism, I kind of just molded it together like, fuck, I'm not right, something's wrong. I probably knew that when I first attempted like a AA meeting, I heard them talking, I heard them sharing shit. I was like, oh fuck, okay, like they're not just in here because of alcohol. Like there's a lot of other shit. And so I really knew I was a fucking alcoholic once I like started opening up that fucking big book and reading, and I'm like, oh my god, like fuck, okay, you motherfucking wrote my life years before you even knew me, type shit. So yeah, there's no time or age or I can think about, but like, shit kind of hit the fan, and I knew like, oh, it's a big problem. You know what I mean? Like I would hide beers. I would hide beers in the bathroom. Like when my girl's out working and shit, I would hide beers in the bathroom. After she's like, no beer in the house, I'm like hiding it under the cupboard. And when I'm so-called taking a shit, I'm like tanking a deuce. And yeah, it slowly snowballed, dog. And
yeah, I feel that, dog. I feel that. And then you made a good point, man, how society and, like the media and sports, we glorify alcohol, man. And I personally think that alcohol is a drug, bro. It's probably one of the most addictive drugs out there, bro, because it's so socially accepted, man. And to accept that you have a drinking problem when everybody else is drinking, you don't want to be that person to be left out, to not drink, to not be accepted, to not feel a part of the crew. Like shit, that was my thing, man, to not think that I'm not a real Mexican because I can't fucking hold my liquor, dog. That because I needed to fucking get some fucking perico in order for me to hang. That's the only reason I would even do coke, bro, because I couldn't hang. I was a lightweight, man. So all of these things definitely do, connect. And now since we're talking about like your recovery and your program, bro, let's dive into, the different types of recoveries. I know there's plenty of forms of recovery, and I know you're an open-minded person, my dude, but I also do believe that some people are sicker than others, and I also do believe that some people, like the drugs they take, do actually need clinical help, and they do actually need the step work to go really in depth, you know what I'm saying? Because like my homie Dylan said it best, man. If you got happy, joyous, and free, I don't care how you got it, as long as you have it, man. So what does your program look like for you, and what are some programs you've seen outside of AA that really catch your eye? And even to go further, bro, I do notice similarities in the sense of like, no matter what, you got to go internally and do some work on yourself, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I picked up on. So, like you said, I found sobriety in Alcoholics Anonymous. Even though, I would really claim myself to be more of a drug addict, but I just felt like I found a better sobriety home group and fellowship within AA. my fellowship out here also too. Let me say this is my home group is called Black Experience. When I first came into AA, I was really biased and I was standoffish because I had this mentality. I had this visual like, okay, there's not too many people of color. There's older folks, and this shit isn't for me. You know what I mean? I found Black Experience with a whole bunch of older and younger people of color, primarily Black folks, but it was all kind of people: Hawaiians, Filipinos, Chamorro, Samoan, Tongan, even white folks. You know what I mean? My home group was very inclusive, and one thing that attracted me to it was, I think I said this before, is one, you're not gonna show me how to be Black, first of all, but what's the experience like of being an alcoholic and drunk out there, and getting recovery? And that shit was amazing, and like you said, I dove in doing what I had to do internally. That's one thing you learn in the process of recovery is you're gonna have to find that higher power. You're gonna have to work on whatever the fuck is making you resentful and angry and all your fucking yo what do they call them? Your fucking character defects. You're gonna have to learn how to work with others, even if you don't like them or you do. You know what I mean? You have to learn how to be of service of folks that either are in recovery or not in recovery. If they're old, if they're young, just being there to help somebody, no matter what, just any program. And that internal work, what I found, I got a 12-step. I'm about to go to an awesome 12-step meeting tonight with some of the OGs that we met through social media. But I also 12-step, with folks in my home group. That 12-step really is something for me that kind of opened my mind up to other shit on the whole concept of like healing and recovery and shit. You learn to peel back layers, and this is where you were like saying, some shit is like needs like a deeper look. So you're not gonna find all the fucking answers within AA or in it. You're not gonna find all the answers. One thing it does, it just gives you the tools to like be a fucking human. And every human, addict or not, I believe has fucking trauma that they're walking around with. And at the end of the day, everybody needs to address that trauma somehow, some way. So for addicts, we go through a program or a fellowship and you learn that. But seeking outside help is fucking like one of the most important things you can do. Either if it's anger management, either if it's getting a therapist. Sometimes we have fucked up like sexual habits, so seeing somebody in that regards, you never know. And then sometimes with so much drug use and alcohol use, your brain is fucked up. Now you really got some upstairs issues. There's so many levels to recovery, man, to where healing yourself is the most important part. You know what I mean? Some folks go to church, some folks pray to Allah, to Jesus, to Buddha. Some folks fucking sit there and just meditate to the moon. Some folks just go out and be one with nature. Some folks go to the gym. Some folks, all this kind of shit, are things that we were kind of closed-minded to while we're inactive, whatever the fuck you were. And so just changing that and being open to basically seeing the world, you know what I mean? Like before, I'm gonna say this, like before, I was like colorblind. All my colors were black, gray, red, blue. Like I was just down. Like I'm not saying those colors are down, but I'm just saying like I was colorblind. When I got sober, it's almost like I put on those glasses. You know how people who are colorblind put the glasses on and they see the world? That's how I felt like I got sober and I start seeing the world differently. Like food tastes better. Fucking my laundry smells good. You know, like the dumbass conversations from my kids sound cooler. Like, I know that sounds horrible, but like,
I feel you, bro.
like, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel
like,
yeah, I feel that 100%.
like the light is just way brighter when you actually sit back and you start getting in tune with yourself, get a better understanding that there's a higher power greater than yourself, and understanding like, okay, let me get outside of myself and help somebody. So I may not have touched on the topic of like outside programs, really more because I can't sit here. I don't really know too much about them, but I know there's some basic fundamentals as a human that you should really, plug into. I hope I was on topic. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you were, bro. And I think everything that you just talked about really does go into all forms of recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And I really do think whoever you praise or you believe in, whether it's God, Allah, Buddha, whoever it may be, a higher power, for me at least, I've realized it helps me, man. It just helps me to feel a sense of like, it's okay if I don't have everything under control, because no matter what, that person upstairs or whoever it may be, whatever you may believe in, whether it be nature, science, like, it's all got a role to play in your life, and you are where you need to be, and that's that, and that life happens for us, not to us. And that's one thing that I had to really realize and get out of my victimized mindset.
Yeah.
Because that's what sobriety brings. It just brings out the true colors outside and even within us. Like, nah, motherfucker, you're a lying ass dude. Like, nope, you're not being 100% with people. Like, don't be acting like you're this type of person, but behind closed doors or whenever you're not flashing that phone or that camera or those pictures, that ain't you.
Yeah. Accountability.
Accountability for sure, man. Now let's go ahead and talk about the facade on social media, bro, because I'm not gonna lie, dog. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and record a video of me disciplining my kids, you know, like,
yeah, of course.
Like, I'm not gonna, cause I whip my kids, and that's a fact. Like, cause that's the way I was raised, and like, I don't beat their ass, but they get a good whooping, bro. And I find that to be, I guess it works for me, and it works for them. That's how they listen to me, especially because they don't get no discipline at their mom's house. So, but I'm not gonna go ahead and record that. Does that make me a bad person? It doesn't make me a bad person, but I want people to understand is what you see on social media is not always that.
Yeah.
And it's not always that, because we oftentimes compare ourselves to other people, to other people's recovery, to other people's gains and muscle growth and all that money they got. Like, it's not always what it turns out to be. So what's your experience been like on social media now that you're sober? And, what are some ways that you maybe cope with that you deal with it, and you try not to get in the funk of like, oh man, this person got this person got that?
Okay, well, I seen this post today. Some people have this weird hang up with like social media, like, they feel like they get depressed and shit on there. And I can understand why, I can totally understand why folks feel this down feeling, like watching folks, damn, my wife says this, comparison is the thief of joy type shit, you know what I mean?
Ooh.
And that's what we plug in for, you know what I mean? While we're sitting at our desk or sitting wherever the fuck you are, you're scrolling, looking at somebody doing some cool shit. So you're like, oh, damn. But let me see, the facade of social media. So I'll talk from my experience. For me, you know what I mean? Before, it was all fake. You know what I mean? My relationship was fucking at a bad place. I wasn't a present father. I was a fucking cokehead, cracky that obviously I'm not going to talk about, you know what I mean? And I fucking, had a whole bunch of issues. I didn't let nobody see that, you know what I mean? And I would fucking damn near share almost how I share now. Like Like, only thing that's changed is me being a little bit more transparent and real. But now, you know, okay, I still post shit and I talk about things. Am I always working on that shit? Am I always this good father? You know what I mean? There's still things I'm fucking working on. You know what I mean? I'm not, you know, accountability is everything. You know, I'm not always the nicest person at home. I'm not, you know, always this joyous, happy, and free motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes on social media, I gotta smile and I'm doing all this shit. Flip the script. As soon as that shit goes off, I'm fucking in my head and in my feelings and shit. You know what I mean? My emotions go like this. You know? Sometimes I have petty arguments with my wife. You know what I mean? Sometimes I spend too much time on social media. You know, when I act like I need a balance, sometimes my balance is completely like completely shifted to social media.
Facts.
You know?
Facts.
There's times I don't do my maintenance plan. You know, I'm right now, you know, I'm at a standstill. I'm trying to get I want to get my real estate license. And I started out strong for like a good 3-4 weeks. I haven't touched that book in about 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the facade that I'm open with it. You know what I mean? I am open with it. I go to meetings and I'll talk about it. I talk to somebody about it. Okay. And sometimes I'll even share on social media how I'm not, you know, everything that I am what I post. Let me say that. But I'm not everything sometimes what you think I am. Okay. So like you said, people look at others for the gains and compare your sobriety. Like, and I try to let people know, like, fuck, I'm still struggling. I posted a while back, like, fuck, I don't read at meetings because I'm not a good reader. You know what I mean? Like, I don't read, you know, I let somebody else read because I feel like I have a reading problem, you know? I just posted today, you know, I go to the gym, boom, boom, boom. I take that picture in front of the lighting. I look good and shit. When I get home, the motherfucking belly is out. Belly's out, like stuff my face, you know what I mean? I just ate fried chicken, you know? Yesterday I posted that I ate some vegetables and shit, you know? So,
but you know what? I think that's the beauty of it, though, bro. That, you know, we're not perfect.
Yeah,
you know, we're not perfect, and we're constantly, like, I guess the message across, you know, I want to relay to people is that, you know, we're a constant work in progress.
Yes.
And don't you know, like the pictures that people post and everything, yeah, that is them, but just know there's also a flip side to it. And of course, no one's gonna post all that negative shit. No one's gonna post you eating the fried chicken or not picking up that book, or me whooping my kid's ass. You know, we're not gonna post that shit. But just know that we are not perfect. We're open about it, but don't compare ourselves to you, because we all have our own journey.
Hell yeah.
We all have our own struggles. And I think it's important to realize that everybody's walking a different path. And the most important things to take is what resonates with people.
Hell yeah.
And to ask one another for help if it is you need it, if any way, shape, or form we can help.
Yes, sir.
Also, I thank you very much for sharing that, man. I wanna dive into meditation.
Oh,
bro.
yeah, man.
Meditation, just because personally, dog, I haven't meditated in a cool minute, although I've had the most dopest experience while I was meditating, dog. I was really deep into deep breathing, meditating, quieting my thoughts, silencing my mind.
Yeah.
And bro, no lie, dog, this is actually what got me to being open to the spiritual realm and believing in God, man.
Okay.
I was meditating. I said this mantra: I am not the mind, I am not the body. And I believe that. I said that to myself repeatedly into this deep ass meditation, bro. I felt like I was floating from the ground and I separated myself from my body, dog. I was in a whole nother, I was just like, oh shit, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And my thoughts, bro, went quiet, silent, dog. It was just me in this whole other fucking realm. And that's when I knew, that's when I felt, I was like, you know what? This shit is real. This shit works. Because I have a hard time, bro, with my thoughts. Like, I could be dead tired, my body physically, but my mind, it don't let me sleep.
Hell
it don't
no.
let me rest. I can't get that rest that I need because my mind's constantly going. So once I learned that, I was like, holy shit, you know, this shit is real. What is your experience has been with meditation, and what do you consider meditation? Because there's different forms of it.
Okay, so you learn working the 12 steps, you know, you basically you do it. It's the 11th step where, you know, you pray and meditate, you know what I mean? And the 12-step group that I was with, we got the privilege to sit back and listen to a guided meditation, okay? Like you said, my brain doesn't let me rest. And I do very well with guidance, okay? So what I found very important for me, and I'm going to master it over the time, but what I found for me is guided meditations. My brain goes 1,000 miles per hour, and whenever I'm like, I wake up in the morning, I do my 3rd step prayer, and I say the serenity prayer. I do that all the time, to keep it real with you. My prayer, I do that all the time. And that's just do any type of shit, you know what I mean? Before I fucking bench press, I say the serenity prayer, you know what I mean? Before I work at a moving company, I own a moving company, so when I like pack everything in, at the end, I say a serenity prayer. And I get to argue with my girl, I say the serenity prayer, you feel me?
Yeah.
On to meditation. For meditation, I need the guidance, so I do a guided meditation based on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I'll read the daily reflections or a daily affirmation, and I'm like, okay, that's about work. I'm going to find a guided meditation for 10 minutes, and I'm going to sit there. And in those 10 minutes, I do what the fuck they ask. You know what I mean? Breathe, feel the energy from the top of your head, go to your shoulders, breathe in, wiggle that shit down, whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? And I'm saying it like that because it's guided. It's easy for me. You know, my brain does not rest, bro. I don't sleep until like 1:30, 2 o'clock. Like I have to like veg myself out on a fucking TV show to be like, you know, crash. And my brain just shuts down. My doctor said it was ADD. Whatever. I don't fucking know.
What are you gonna do? Prescribe shit for that shit too?
Nah, man. I'm a grown ass man. I think so. Me and my girl always talk about this. I think, you know, society, it creates some things. You know, like if we lived in this weird hunter-gatherer society, my ADD would be very well out there when I'm fucking scrounging, looking for shit, being active and shit. You know, it's just we live in this structured box where if a kid is too animated or active, or a woman's too animated and active, oh, you have a problem. You can't pay attention. You can't do the book work. You can't do it. Yeah, let's not go on that tangent. I can go on that shit, you know. I believe, I'm a believer in modern medicine, you know what I mean? I think it keeps humans around. But at the same time, I think a lot of ways, I'm gonna say this. I think a lot of ways we get out of tune with who we are as humans. Humans, we need a few things. We need people around, you need food, and you need spirituality. Like fucking Native Americans had. They had everybody around, you know what I mean? Had their uncles to help them with hunting. They had their aunties or even women help them with weaving and baskets. And they had a medicine person. They had a person who can help them with fucking making clothes or whatever. Then they also had rain gods, grass gods, all this. Any fucking indigenous group has this idea of spirituality. And I feel like in this Western way of how we got so out of tune of what spirituality is. And sometimes it's even got perverted to where, you know, sometimes we follow weird written shit from a long time ago that may not. Let's not. Let's not.
Yeah. You know what? Since you said the word perverted, let's go into some fucking porn addiction,
Oh
dog.
yeah.
I know what are you like? How long have you been abstinent from porn and why?
So for porn, it's been almost 2 years, damn near just as long as I've been sober. Okay, so before it was like a secretive thing for me, you know what I mean? It's this secretive world where, you know, I would, from when I was young, you know what I mean? It was something, don't do this. So, you know, from when I was young, I was 5 years old, I seen my first Playboy, you know. From there, I just always had this attention, like, oh, what the fuck is this? What is this? I always had this weird, warped wanting to see this, you know. And there's nothing wrong to wanting to see sex, but porn gives you too much that your brain shouldn't have. Sex is normal. Oh, excuse me. Sex is normal in all ways, you know what I mean? But what happens is it's so fucked up. It's like all the wrong shit of our society in that motherfucker. Like everything, it's like this weird shame and fucked up thing within porn to where it became so weird. You know what I mean? It's weird. People act out and do weird activities in it. And that was my mind frame, you know? It's like I was like weird, hidden from it. And as I got older, you know, my spouse, she doesn't like that. Not because she's anti-porn, it's because how I was. I wouldn't give myself to her, you know? I would be okay and content to staying downstairs or staying out of the way while she asking me to come upstairs and lay it down. You know what I mean? But I'm like, no, you know, I'm no, you know. And then sometimes, you know, back in the day when you fucking have a drug issue and you watching porn, you know, you limp dicking around and shit. So
facts,
yeah,
dog.
so,
I know all about that shit.
Yeah, so like you ain't who you are, and then also you take away the beauty of intimacy with your loved one. You know, one thing that I've totally recognized is like, unless I'm like stressed and I'm thinking some shit in my head, maybe I may not perform like how I want to, but like without watching porn, the smell of my girl, the feel of her, the touch of her, everything about her, it's like absolutely like I'm more appreciative. You know what I mean? I respect her. And then after more deeper conversations and hearing her talking shit, I'm like, you know, you start reading shit like, oh, did you know these people are sex trafficked? And not everybody, but you know what I mean? You start hearing shit. Then you start hearing, you know, then you start looking at it deeper. Then you start seeing the dark perversions of, you know, of that shit, you know? And I think the porn world is like a reflection of literally what the fucked up things are in our society and community, dog. Like, like the fact, like you can go into a porn search and it's talking about teen fucking tits and shit. You're like, ugh, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And I'm raising a fucking teen daughter. You know what I mean? Like that shit is like, you know that. Yeah, man. For me, just completely abandoning. And it also, I talked to this with my sponsor. It was like really like impulsive addiction type feeling, you know? I was like this weird addict towards it. Don't tell me what to do. I'm going to fucking beat off. So exciting. You know what I mean? I'm getting away with something I'm not supposed to be doing, you know? Like, yeah. So I like the first couple months was like hard, you know what I mean? Like in my mind, I was like, I was always battling like, oh, it's not really that wrong. You know, if me and her are not doing nothing for a couple of days, like it ain't wrong. But then like once I got like past like a month and a half, 2 months, then I just like I didn't even. There's no justifying. Like I got past it, and I realized there's like really something fucking wrong with my head. You know what I mean? Like just impulsively wanting to just beat off all the time. You know, it's not fucking normal,
yeah.
dog. So
I mean, but you know, nowadays, bro, everybody's, you know, masturbation. You know, people do it, but the thing about it is like the porn aspect of it. You
Yes.
know, the porn aspect of it is where, like you said, it takes away from you being present and intimate with somebody, because of the fact that there is this twisted ass appearance in pornography where the man lasts hours and hours, and then the woman is like so fucking bomb and she has multiple orgasms. In a sense, it sets a precedence for us normal people, or not normal because we're weird as fuck, but like average people that are not that, to want to be like that and to perform like that, and it puts pressure on our bodies, and it puts pressures on our minds and our relationships.
Hell yeah.
To fit that mold, man. And I know for me, dude, the reason why personally me, I don't beat my meat, or actually I think masturbation can be healthy, but not too frequently. I think that for me at least, it caused an issue with premature ejaculation, and that's something I talked about earlier. And I think a lot of dudes really struggle with this because it's either you have premature ejaculation, or you're desensitized to, you know, to sex. And that's because you're beating your meat too much. And I really do think that really affects our relationships. With my personal experience, I know that I was doing it fast and I was doing it often. So what happened when I was in bed with a woman and got intimate? Bam,
Fast
one
enough.
pump, chump, that shit game over. But I'll tell you what, my tongue game is strong as fuck.
Yeah, man, you know, that's something I definitely learned over the time, you know, being in a long ass relationship is you know, one is I did get desensitized, you know what I mean? I was fucking, you know, it's not fucking cool, you know, trying to attack some pussy while you beating your dick with some rough fucking calloused hands and shit. So I did learn that, but again, the intimacy factor of like my relationship is better, you know. We are in this recovery phase because you know, we did have a separation and some things kind of went south during that separation, you know. So within our relationship, we are still healing parts of that. So I'm right now, it's just a place of respecting the autonomy. Is that how you correctly say it? The autonomy of my woman's body, the woman of her, how she feels when she wants to do things, maybe talking more, maybe being intimate in a different way. You know what I mean? With me not watching porn, I'm like way more open to being like not so aggressive, I guess, you know.
Yeah,
like,
sensual.
Yeah, I'm very like I'm open to listen to her and her body. You know what I mean? Like if she's feeling a certain kind of way, I can't get mad, because before I was kind of on the opposite end of what you were saying. Like, you know, before I would, like, if I was horny, I would like just, you know, try to rush her hard. And being a meat beater, you know, I was desensitized where I'm just railing off, you know what I mean? And it wasn't a healthy place, you know. Our past traumas and connection sexually was kind of different, especially the past. The past was me and my girl are in a place of recovery on different levels of some shit. So yeah, I'm
That's dope though, bro.
yeah, I'm happy to honestly be open to share that. And there's a couple accounts that I follow that is about not watching porn. And
Yeah, shoot those accounts if you know.
oh yeah, hell yeah, I'll definitely tag you. I got a couple
shoot
of
those
them.
accounts, and if you want to send them to me, I'll put them on the link.
Oh, yeah.
in the description, just so people, in case they want to go ahead and scope them out, dude. I think that's dope, and I think that's big of you to like come to that realization, bro. Because I think a lot of dudes, for us, is to talk about things like that. You know, it's not something we're proud of, and it's not something that we want the whole world to know. But I think that what you're doing and that message you're bringing across can really make it at least more normal or okay to talk about, and respecting your woman's body, bro. Like that's big, man. That type of shit right here, what you're talking about, is what's gonna get you laid. You know what I'm saying? So you know, with me saying that, man, like, thank you for your time, bro. I gotta ask you just one more question before I let you go, bro.
sir,
And you already know the signature question, man. There's 3 things in life that I know that I feel are guaranteed, and that is our birthday, the day we pass, and the dash in the middle that represents the life we led. What does my boy Chris want to be remembered by when he's gone?
First, with my family, you know, being a leader, being a role model, to the face of change. You know, like being in a place of darkness and being able like to see somebody come out and change. Not about like riches and money and shit, like, you know what I mean? I want to get to a place where I'm like spiritually fit, spiritually rich, where I, you know, no matter where I am, I feel okay. I want to be remembered as just a good, honorable man, you know what I mean? A good, honorable human, you know, open-minded person who can listen, and who spreads the aloha, or who spreads like an abundance of love, you know what I mean? Like, I'm bouncing around, but like real shit, I just want to be a positive note role model. I feel like we lost a lot of that, and what I needed growing up was the guidance from a positive male role model in my life.
I'll never be the same.